After entering this novel, I became the devoted second male lead in a story where the second lead gets the girl. I knew every moment the male lead would humiliate the heroine. To make the supporting female lead happy, he would secretly alter the heroine's college applications, cause trouble at her workplace, and make her lose her job because he refused to use protection. He would even leave her unable to have children, and his so-called groveling arc was merely the heroine refusing to reconcile with him at the end, then turning to fall into my arms instead. What a joke. Right now was the story's first major emotional blow. The male lead was falsely accusing the heroine of theft before the entire class. Bai Ningbing bit her lip, looking at me anxiously, begging me for help. Fang Yuan, can you testify for me? I really didn't steal anything. This was where the heroine would first begin to like me. I did not even need to testify for her. All I needed was a casual, "I believe you." That would complete my mission perfectly. Facing her tear-filled eyes, I calmly turned away, avoiding her gaze. "Sorry. I wasn't in the classroom at noon. I can't testify for you." Bai Ningbing's eyes instantly dimmed. A flash of smugness crossed Wang Dateng's face. With his hands in his pockets, he strolled over to Bai Ningbing. His voice held contempt and pity. "Bai Ningbing, I know your family is poor, but no matter what, you can't steal Shishi's things. Do you know that jade bracelet was a keepsake from her grandmother?" Shishi stepped out from behind Wang Dateng. Tears filled her eyes as her voice trembled. "Bai Ningbing, that jade bracelet means so much to me. I can give you 100,000 yuan. Can you please give it back?" Whispers rose from the surrounding students. Seriously, Bai Ningbing would do something like that. She never goes back to the dorm to nap at noon. I thought she was so dedicated to studying. Turns out she was plotting to steal from classmates. After all, she was admitted on recommendation from some trash middle school. Petty theft is no surprise from her. Amid the whispers, Bai Ningbing stubbornly straightened her back. Clenching her teeth in fist, she said, "It wasn't me. I didn't steal anything. If you don't believe me, check the security footage." Bai Ningbing, who are you trying to fool? You know the classroom camera broke 2 days ago. She said she'd give you 100,000 yuan. Can you stop being so stubborn? Wang Dateng sneered at her. She spoke softly as well. "Yes, Bai Ningbing, that bracelet isn't worth much. It just means a lot to me. If that isn't enough, I can offer more. Everyone needs to study. Let's not disturb everyone over something so small, okay?" I looked at my wristwatch. 1:05 in the afternoon. In 5 minutes, the homeroom teacher would walk in. Then Bai Ningbing, Wang Dateng, and Shishi would all be called to the office. That jade bracelet was extremely valuable. No matter how much the teacher usually favored Bai Ningbing, she could not brush this aside. Bai Ningbing's mother would be summoned to school. The moment she entered the office, she would slap Bai Ningbing. Then, like a lapdog, she would fawn over Wang Dateng and Shishi as she apologized. "Young master, young miss, I am so sorry. I failed to raise my daughter properly. Bai Ningbing is just like her irresponsible father. She's had poor character since childhood. I've scolded her so many times, but it never works." Then she would turn and glare furiously at Bai Ningbing. "You little wastrel. Apologize to the young master and young miss. Now, where did you hide it? Give it back at once." Bai Ningbing's mother sold vegetables at the market. She had a naturally booming voice. The entire floor could hear her fury, then her groveling. She would shatter every denial and all of Bai Ningbing's resolve. Even when Shishi's butler came to apologize the next day, saying the bracelet had been found in her bedroom, the damage was already done. Bai Ningbing would be branded for good, as immoral and light-fingered, wherever she went. Whispers followed behind her, and Wang Dateng's apology for it was merely bringing her breakfast for 1 semester. At this moment, the teacher was still on her way. Wang Dateng said impatiently, "Bai Ningbing, how about I add another 50,000 yuan? Don't be so greedy. The camera works." He froze when he heard that. I spun the pen in my hand, then balanced it neatly on my fingertip. I looked at Wang Dateng. I said, "The camera works. It had only run out of power. I replaced the battery yesterday." Shishi went a little pale and forced a smile. "We're classmates. There is no need to check the footage, right? Just apologize, Bai Ningbing, and I'll forgive you." Wang Dateng frowned. "Bai Ningbing, even if we check it, you'll be the one embarrassed. I want to see it." Bai Ningbing's face was pale, but her eyes shone brightly. She stared hard at Wang Dateng and Shishi. Her voice was thin and soft. "I didn't steal anything. I want to see the footage." 5 minutes passed. The homeroom teacher appeared at the door. She scanned the classroom and frowned. "What are you all arguing about?" After hearing what happened, she told the others to study quietly, then took the 3 of them to her office to review the footage. Half an hour later, the 3 returned to class. Bai Ningbing was still pale, but her back was perfectly straight. Wang Dateng's face was blank, and he said nothing. The most interesting one was Shishi. She walked to the front, utterly composed, with an expression that said, "Just as I thought." The teacher sighed. "All right, let's continue class." She turned around, ready to pull up the lesson materials. I spoke softly, feigning curiosity. "Teacher, so, Did Bai Ningbing really steal that bracelet? The teacher's gaze settled on me. Bai Ningbing also gripped her pen tightly and looked at me. I shrugged and smiled. After all, she's my desk mate. If she really has sticky fingers, I'd better hide my belongings. Idiot. She thought she had already proved her innocence. So she sat back down and opened her textbook in peace. Little did she know, Chu Shishi's arrogant expression alone still made her look like a thief to their classmates. Chu Shishi frowned and cleared her throat. She was about to say something, but before she could, another deep voice cut her off. Bai Ningbing didn't steal the bracelet. She was at her desk the entire lunch break. She never left. Wang Dateng looked at me, speaking each word clearly. I smiled faintly, almost eerily. Is that so? Then I guess I don't need a new deskmate. Chu Shishi suddenly let out a sob. Tears streamed down her face. This is all my fault. I wrongly accused Bai Ningbing. I nodded. It really is your fault. Why bring something so expensive to school for no reason? Today, you accused Bai Ningbing. Who will you accuse tomorrow? The moment I said that, the classroom erupted in commotion. If it is so precious, why bring it to school? What if someone accidentally damages it? Would we have to compensate you too? She came back looking so smug. I thought Bai Ningbing really stole it. Chu Shishi covered her face with a hand. Sobs slipped through her fingers. Her body swayed as if she might collapse. Seeing this, Wang Dateng spoke angrily. Fang Yuan, Shishi has already apologized. What more do you want from her? Wang Dateng, do you like Chu Shishi? You. Don't talk nonsense. I only see Shishi as a little sister. His face flushed red, and his voice abruptly rose. He viciously shook a fist at me. I raised my hands in surrender. I was joking. All right, enough. This classroom is turning into a marketplace. At a time like this, get yourselves together. Study hard. Stop causing pointless trouble. Once class began, I propped my head on my desk and dozed off. Something suddenly nudged my arm. It was a thick math notebook. I looked over. Bai Ningbing pressed her lips together, listening intently to the lesson. Her knuckles were pale from gripping her pen tightly. A thick callus covered the spot on her middle finger where the pen rested. After marrying Wang Dateng, those calluses slowly softened and peeled away. In the end, the girl who had finished stack after stack of test papers became a woman with slender, fair fingers, a pampered lady of leisure, untouched by household work. I scoffed softly and pushed the notebook back. Don't need it. I turned away and went back to sleep, maybe out of guilt. Wang Dateng brought Bai Ningbing breakfast the next day. No, thanks. Keep it for yourself. Wang Dateng stood there awkwardly, holding a convenience store rice ball and freshly squeezed juice. Irritation clouded his expression. Chu Shishi saw this and spoke with a smile. Ningbing, Dateng does not eat this stuff. We have breakfast made by our housekeeper every morning. Then she turned to Wang Dateng, her tone gentle. Dateng, maybe Bai Ningbing is not used to this kind of food. Next time, have the driver buy her steamed buns and soy milk from a roadside stall. It's not that I can't eat it. Eat it or do not. Wang Dateng cut her off impatiently and tossed the breakfast onto Bai Ningbing's desk. He pulled Chu Shishi back to their seats. If you will not eat it, throw it in the trash. In the original novel, Bai Ningbing really did throw Dateng's breakfast into the trash. Just then, the morning study bell rang. Only the scratch of pens on paper remained in the classroom. A moment later, I heard Bai Ningbing beside me sniff very softly. She was still just a young girl. I sighed and took the slightly squashed rice ball from her desk, along with the juice. Hey, I did not eat enough this morning. I will trade you milk for them, deal? She looked up at me in surprise. Her tear-washed eyes were wide and shining. She stammered, no trade needed. I am not hungry. Just take them. How could she not be hungry? At 4 in the morning, she helped her mother set up at the market. By 6:15, she had to take 3 buses to get to school, because the school provided free lunch and dinner. Bai Ningbing ate only 2 meals a day. When she woke up, her stomach was often numb with hunger. As a teenager, Bai Ningbing was thin as a reed, ready to topple with one push. Yet even so, she still believed dignity mattered more than an empty stomach. So foolish. I do not like owing favors. A fair trade works for both of us. Bai Ningbing blinked in agreement. She reached over and took the bottle of milk. Dateng suddenly kicked the desk hard from behind. I pretended not to hear it, secretly unwrapped the rice ball beneath the desk, and took a bite. Cheese and chicken. It was pretty good. But the moment class ended, Wang Dateng called Bai Ningbing outside. I went to the restroom to wash my hands first, then strolled leisurely to the corner, a vocabulary book in hand, and openly eavesdropped. Fine if you will not eat what I gave you. But why give it to Fang Yuan? You gave it to me. What I do with it is none of your business. Wang Dateng fell silent for several seconds. Bai Ningbing, I only want to apologize. Shishi's bracelet was found in her bedroom last night. She must have knocked it off by accident in her sleep. I did not mean to falsely accuse you. Wang Dateng, you do not need to explain yourself to me, and I do not want your apology. She shoved Wang Dateng aside and walked back to the classroom. Wang Dateng watched her retreating back, his expression unreadable. After standing alone for a moment, he turned and left as well. I had seen enough. When I turned around, Chu Shishi was there. She stood behind me with her arms folded. Her delicate face was completely indifferent. Classmate Chu, if you do not confess soon, Wang Dateng might fall for someone else. Why would I confess? I do not even like him. Then why target Bai Ningbing? If a dog used to follow only you every day, but one day started wagging its tail at someone else, how would you feel? I would not feel anything. It is just a dog. Why would I care who it wags its tail for? Chu Shishi froze. After several seconds of silence, she asked darkly, do men just like girls like Bai Ningbing? What kind of girl? Poor, pretty, and like some helpless little white flower. First, I do not think Bai Ningbing is some fragile little flower. Second, I do not like fragile little flowers either. They break too easily. Then, what do you like? I like the vicious kind. The wickedest flowers with an intoxicating scent. Just like you. So, will you consider me? You are sick. I angered Chu Shishi until her cheeks turned pink. She shot me a vicious glare and ran back to class. Wang Dateng was not discouraged by Bai Ningbing's rejection. It was as if he had decided to challenge her. He brought Bai Ningbing breakfast every day for an entire semester. Bai Ningbing traded all of it for things that ended up in my stomach. Of course, what I gave Bai Ningbing was not cheap either. One semester passed. Bai Ningbing finally had some flesh on her face, and she had shot up in height. She looked to be about 5'7" now. The original novel described her as petite, but now, no matter what, the word no longer suited her. Girls are powerful. That way, they can fight back against violent thugs and boldly walk their own path. Bai Ningbing and I remained distant but civil. Apart from trading breakfast daily and occasionally copying her homework, we had no contact outside of that. After we traded breakfast today, Bai Ningbing stopped me. Her eyes darted away, unable to meet mine, as she spoke with difficulty. Fang Yuan, could you lend me some money? How much? 100,000 yuan. My mother was diagnosed with cancer. Although she's enrolled in a clinical trial, we still have to pay the initial treatment cost upfront. I know it is presumptuous to suddenly ask you for so much money, but I truly do not know who else I can ask. I can write you a promissory note. I will repay you as soon as the reimbursement comes through. Bai Ningbing did not originally have the surname Bai. After her father eloped with the neighbor's wife, her furious mother changed her surname. To escape the neighbor's gossip, Mother Bai took little Bai Ningbing far from their hometown and settled in this unfamiliar city. She hated Bai Ningbing for having that man's blood in her veins. She hated that she was a girl, and hated that she had not kept her husband. Yet despite that hate, she worked from dawn to dusk to support her. Bai Ningbing's mother was watering a flower she hated, and when she fell, that flower wanted to hold her up with its tender stem. In the original story, Bai Ningbing asked Wang Dateng for the loan. Wang Dateng was willing to apologize for falsely accusing her, and he brought her breakfast for an entire semester. So she thought Wang Dateng was a good person. Most importantly, Wang Dateng's family was wealthy. When she timidly made the request to Wang Dateng, he said nothing. He merely gave her a condescending look from above. The next day, he transferred the money into her account. Bai Ningbing joyfully transferred the money to the hospital. She did not know then that everything comes at a price. The moment she borrowed that money, the balance of power between her and Wang Dateng began to shift. They were no longer equals. So even after she finally repaid the money, Wang Dateng would forever hold the debt of saving her mother over her. She became his servant, at his beck and call. Even when he changed her college choices, a decision that shaped her life, she could only accept it in silence. I looked into Bai Ningbing's eyes. They held fear and pleading. Like a fawn caught in a hunter's trap, I asked her, Bai Ningbing, 100,000 yuan. How long would your mother have to sell vegetables to earn that? Her face went even paler. My family may have money, but it does not grow on trees. We are just ordinary classmates. At most, we were desk mates for 2.5 years. Why would you think I would lend you that much money? Besides, borrowing money from a man comes at a price. I deliberately looked her over from head to toe. I do not think you can afford that price. Fang Yuan. Tears filled Bai Ningbing's eyes as she demanded quietly, if you will not lend it, then do not. Why humiliate me like this? I turned away and opened my book. It is the truth. For the entire class, Bai Ningbing sat dazed and silent. Wang Dateng had probably overheard our conversation. After class, Wang Dateng called her outside again. I can lend you the money. Bai Ningbing's eyes were still red. What are your conditions? From now on, the breakfast I give you, do not give them to Fang Yuan. That is all. Bai Ningbing stood there, biting her lip. Thank you, but no. Fang Yuan was right. Borrowing money from a man is not a good thing. Sometimes, what comes free costs the most. Wang Dateng paced back and forth impatiently. Bai Ningbing, this is not the time. And you are still refusing out of spite. Are Fang Yuan's words that useful? Can he make your mother better? She is the mother who gave birth to you and raised you. Getting the money to save her is what matters most. I will find a way. What way can you find? That is 100,000 yuan. Who would give it to you for free? Will you sell yourself? Then why not sell yourself only to me? Slap. Wang Dateng's face snapped to one side. Bai Ningbing pulled back her reddened palm. Her eyes blazed with fury. Wang Dateng, Shut your filthy mouth and get lost. My family matters are none of your damn business. Wang Dateng fell silent, then suddenly sneered. I've shown you enough respect, yet you still push your luck. He raised a hand, intending to grab Bai Ningbing by the throat. This is straight out of some old-school melodrama. I stepped out of the corner. Bai Ningbing, the homeroom teacher wants you. She gave me a complicated look. Then she ran off, pale as death. Wang Dateng glared at me darkly. Fang Yuan, why are you everywhere? Sorry, I feel the same way. Are you interested in Bai Ningbing? No. Then why do you keep interfering? Yes. Why is that? I nodded to myself. Maybe because I am a champion of justice. Wang Dateng reminded me. Our families are business partners. There is no need to make things so hostile. I do not understand business. I am only a high school student, but I am curious about something. Wang Dateng, does your father treat your mother like this too? Only 5 minutes before the bell rang, did Bai Ningbing return to the classroom? Her gaze swept past Wang Dateng. What is wrong with him? Why does he look so upset? Who knows? Fang Yuan, did you tell the homeroom teacher about my family? I did not answer. I only asked what the teacher wanted. Bai Ningbing told me. The teacher told me not to worry and to focus on my studies. She said she would find a way to raise the money for me. Congratulations. You do not have to beg for loans anymore. Bai Ningbing hesitated, then said softly, Fang Yuan, thank you. My lips twitched, but I ignored her. I took out my phone and transferred 100,000 yuan to the homeroom teacher. The homeroom teacher asked me, do you really not need me to tell Bai Ningbing that you are the one lending her this money? There is no need. You are her teacher. It is better if the loan comes from you. Fang Yuan, you are a good kid. The saccharine praise gave me goosebumps. I quickly turned off my screen. The only perk of becoming the second male lead was having a great deal of money. Money kept me fed and clothed, gave me the best education, and gave me more choices. I treasured that, so I was willing to handle the minor trouble this identity brought. But Bai Ningbing's mother still died. Her cancer had been discovered too late. No treatment could save her. Bai Ningbing did not come to school for several days. When she returned, she looked listless. A small mourning badge was safe to pin to her clothes. I told her I was sorry for her loss. She did not look at me. She only lowered her head, unscrewed her pen cap, gave a quiet hum. Fang Yuan, from now on, I am all alone. 3 years ago, my parents died in a plane crash while traveling for a vacation. I have always been alone. I am sorry. I did not know. It is all in the past. I was not truly a high school student anyway. Of course, I could bear it all. She was silent for a moment. Do you not get lonely? Before I could answer, she gave a self-mocking laugh. Actually, my relationship with my mother was not good. Because of my father, she was always hitting me or cursing me. I can understand her, but I cannot forgive her. When I learned she had cancer, I was not sad or heartbroken. I even felt relieved. But after she died, every night, when I came home alone to that empty house, I still found myself thinking of her. She bit her lip and looked at me anxiously. Fang Yuan, am I selfish? In the original novel, Mother Bai could not be cured either. After she died, Wang Dateng did not accept the money Bai Ningbing returned. Instead, he began to stay by her side and care for her tenderly. He brought her an umbrella when it rained. He bought her clothes when it was cold. He even took care of all her meals. He was not a skilled hunter, yet he coaxed grieving Bai Ningbing into his arms. He did not love her. That obsession came from a semester's worth of breakfast thrown into the trash, and from her countless cold rejections. Bai Ningbing was a prize he wanted but could not have. He craved her love. Once he had her, he cast her aside like an old shoe. Was he punished in the end? No. He inherited his family's company, remarried after divorcing, and had a whole brood of children. Yet the author spent countless words on his regrets. She wrote that, while looking at his wife and children, he would still remember Bai Ningbing's ponytail and the child she lost. Then, with one tear, made everyone forgive all he had done. Hypocritical, disgusting. I asked Bai Ningbing, what is wrong with being selfish? This world is always policing women. They demand that women be kind, demure, and dignified. They must sacrifice everything for others. They want to turn you into a pretty ornament, blindfold you, and block your way upward. But, Bai Ningbing, you cannot join them in blinding yourself. I think selfishness, for you, is an incomparably noble quality. Bai Ningbing, grow some thorns. Do not be a lamb waiting for slaughter. She stood there for a long while. Then she asked, confused, Fang Yuan, how can you say things like that? Who knows? Wang Dateng still had not given up on Bai Ningbing. Bai Ningbing's cold avoidance only added fuel to the fire. It only stirred his competitive streak. To make his intentions clear, he even deliberately distanced himself from Chu Shishi. During gym class, Bai Ningbing returned after running 1,500 meters. Wang Dateng hurried over, holding up the milk tea he had just bought. Bai Ningbing, are you tired? Would you like some milk tea? Before he could finish, another hand snatched away the icy milk tea. Chu Shishi held the milk tea, her eyes instantly reddening. Dateng, wasn't this meant for me? Wang Dateng looked troubled. He hesitated. Shishi, I bought this especially for Bai Ningbing. How about I buy you another? No need. Bai Ningbing walked past them without a glance. It is not good to drink something cold after exercising. Besides, if I want one, I will buy it myself. Then, Shishi, have this one. Bai Ningbing, I will buy you a warm one, all right? Bai Ningbing ignored him completely. She returned to the classroom and continued studying. Wang Dateng turned back in disappointment. He found himself facing Shishi's softly arched brows and faint smile. Shishi, holding up the milk tea, she spoke softly. Wang Dateng, do you know, I hate things people give me only after giving them up. It makes me feel cheap. Her grip loosened. The milk tea was like a water-filled balloon, hitting the ground and bursting. Cloudy liquid splashed everywhere. Shishi walked past Wang Dateng and headed straight for the school building. Wang Dateng was left standing there, utterly dejected. After the college entrance exams, Wang Dateng performed poorly and went to university in Gangshan. Shishi was accepted into the Beijing Film Academy. This time, no one could alter Bai Ningbing's college choices, and no one could alter her life. The day her acceptance letter arrived, Bai Ningbing called me. She could not hide the excitement in her voice. Fang Yuan, I got into a university. I went out onto the balcony, leaning against the railing. I said only one thing to her. Congratulations. She cautiously asked. Fang Yuan, where are you going to university? The moonlight was beautiful that night. I was rarely in the mood to say more. The United Kingdom. Bai Ningbing fell silent. Only her faint breathing remained over the phone, as if she were struggling to suppress something. I patiently waited for her to speak. Finally, she asked in a dry voice, will we ever have a chance to meet again? I sighed. Bai Ningbing, all right. I understand. She cut me off in a shrill voice. Then her voice softened again, breathy and trembling. If we cannot meet again, Fang Yuan, I wish you peace and safety, happiness, and that everything goes your way. She hung up. I stood in the dark for several seconds, feeling hollow. Then my phone received a text. It was a bank deposit notification. The amount was 100,000 yuan. The note read, thank you. 8 years later, after earning my doctorate, I returned home to take over the family business. I no longer remember what I was trying to verify. I only remember that I was looking for a verification code. So I logged into my long and used QQ account and dug through an inbox full of spam advertisements. There, I unexpectedly found the emails Bai Ningbing had sent me over the years. Hello, Fang Yuan. It has been a long time. I wonder how you have been. My university life has been quite good. I even received a scholarship. My professor heard about my family situation and invited me to work in his lab. The monthly stipend is not much, but at least I do not have to worry about money anymore. I had been considering tutoring, but it seems I will not need to now. The next email contained only a few short lines. I graduated. I found a good job. My boss thinks highly of me. Soon, I built a small team of my own. It is hard work, but I am lucky to be doing what I love. In the following email, Bai Ningbing said that while entertaining clients, she ran into Wang Dateng. He had somehow become a new client of our company. He looked far more greasy than before, but was just as unpleasant. He actually asked me in private whether I would be willing to become his kept woman. I smashed a wine glass over his head. The next day, I brought my resignation letter to my boss, but he rejected it. He told me not to worry. The company would not betray its own employees. Sure enough, a few days later, he told me to return to work. The company had ended its partnership with Wang Dateng. That was wonderful, Fang Yuan. I thanked him, and I thanked myself for being brave that night. But the person I am most grateful to is you. In those brief 3 years, you forged the strongest part of who I am. You gave me the courage and countless choices ahead to choose myself. A later email read, I had a dream last night. In it, back in high school, I accepted Wang Dateng's confession under the pretense of doing what was best for me. Wang Dateng changed my college applications without asking me. He made me study the same major as him. I did not like that major and drifted through university in a haze. After graduation, I married Wang Dateng and became a housewife. I even lost a child because of him and could never become a mother again. What a nightmare. Oh, and you were different in that dream too. He smiled more than you do in real life and was gentler with me. He was a good man, soft as a sponge and never given to anger. Like a puzzle piece, he perfectly filled the gaps in my broken life from that dream. He was so perfect that he felt unreal. When I woke in fright, I felt relieved. Thank goodness it was only a dream. Thank goodness you are not him. Holding a cup of coffee, I read from dusk until dawn. At last, my cursor stopped on the final email. It had been sent at 7 in the morning. The day before yesterday. My flight home had just landed then. When I opened it, there was only one line. Can we meet again? A phone number was written below. Email is a wonderful thing. It keeps you from seeing the other person's trembling handwriting, their wrinkled stationery, and the tears they accidentally shed. All you can see are the stiff, formal words and a constantly blinking cursor. And so, without a shred of guilt, I could click delete. With one click, I emptied my inbox. There was no need for us to meet again. The world is vast, and Bai Ningbing is the heroine of her own story. She does not need to spend her life trapped by the choice between the male lead and second male lead. She can meet countless new people and embrace countless new possibilities. That is what I wanted to tell Bai Ningbing, and what I wanted to tell myself. Goodbye, Bai Ningbing. Please keep moving forward. Do not look back. Do not